an expectation, an attachment, a role, an identity, a story. As you exhale, just let them go. Feel yourself releasing and breathing them out. And then sinking freer and freer down deeply into the core of the self. Breathe it out. Breathe it out into the divine universe. Breathe it out into Mother Earth. Breathe it out to the divine. All of that which is not self. The ignorance, the attachment, the identity. Just breathe it out and feel yourself literally sinking deeper and deeper on each exhalation. Into the core, into the source, deep within you. And at the end of each exhalation, after you've let go and sunk deeply down, allow yourself to rest for a moment there, in that source, in that core of light, of truth, of love, of the expansive self. Allow yourself to rest there. Thoughts come, sounds come. Don't worry about them. Don't fight them off. Don't react to them. But just allow them to blow across your awareness. like wispy clouds blow across a blue sky on a windy day. Don't hook your attention into them. Stay connected to the breath. As you exhale and get freer and freer. Sinking deeper and deeper. Slowly bring the palms of the hands together, chest level. Rub them gently against each other. Place those palms over your closed eyes. Whenever you're ready, open your eyes and release the hands. So if I had to sum up the teachings of this weekend in one line, thankfully we don't, but if I did, that one line I think would be, you are the key. We've spoken in so many different sessions about our relationships, about our internal emotions, about our obstacles, about our challenges, about the light of the Guru. We've spoken about so many different topics, and they all come back to you are the key. It's where we even began on Thursday night, right? The mind. She reminded us so beautifully. The mind. The mind is that which makes us stuck or makes us free. It's up to you. No one is out there controlling your mind. No one is out there pulling the strings of the puppet of your thoughts. It's you. It may not be your highest conscious, the you want to live as, which is great, because then you know, okay, so here's what I need to change. But it's still not anyone else. It's just the conditioned you, the unawake you, the unconscious you. As we go back from here, Pujya Swamiji flew in all the way from India to be here with us this weekend. It's been exquisite, it's been extraordinary. We've been touched, we've enjoyed, but he didn't fly all the way in just for us to have a good weekend. He flew all the way in because the ripple impact of us being touched and awakened is something that needs to go out into the world. It's not just, oh wow, that was really great. Okay, when do we get to sign up for next year? When's the next one? That was really great. And now who I am and is people who are awake. People who have the courage to actually open their eyes to our connection with the planet. Who are connected to the divine within themselves and in all of creation. Who are either able to or working to be able to see the divine in others. Don't worry if you're not there yet. But let that be your path, that as I move through the world, rather than, we spoke about form and content, rather than moving through the world focused only on form. That's a pretty form. That's an ugly form. That's a fat form. That's a thin form. That's a dark form, light form. Rather than looking at each other like that, rich form, poor form. Rather than looking at each other like that in the world, can we move through the world trying to see the divine in others? Because it has two extraordinary benefits. One is, I'm therefore, of course, going to be more loving, more compassionate, more caring, more connected. Much less likely to cheat you or hate you or harm you. But it also is a much deeper benefit for myself. Because if I'm going to connect to you as soul, I can only do that from over here as soul. If I'm rooted just in my physical body and what I look like today and how much money is in my bank account and whether I'm feeling, the strong CEO or the kind of low-level male clerk today, if I'm coming at it from that perspective, I'm going to connect to that in you. I'm going to connect to you as just the form. You're pretty, you're ugly, you're old, you're young, you're tall, you're short, whatever it may be. But if I'm going to try to connect to you as soul, the only way to do it is to come at it as soul from me. Body doesn't connect to soul. False identity doesn't connect to soul. Soul connects to soul. And so if I make my goal being to move through the world, seeing the divine, seeing soul, seeing spirit, seeing consciousness, it means, well, that's the place from within me I'm going to have to move, which is a beautiful challenge to the self of, can you move through the world from that place of soul? And this is what our world needs today. We need it on the level of consciousness. We need it on the level of connection. We need it on the level of protection and preservation of the earth. If anyone cares about what the world is going to be like for our children and grandchildren, if there are going to be trees and oxygen and water and food, the only way to get there is through living connected to that earth, connected to all of creation. And so, this is what we've been talking about this weekend. So take this home with you and leave back here. That's why I wanted to end with that meditation. Leave back here all of that stuff that's keeping you stuck. I spoke the first day about our spiritual heart attacks, that when our internal channel gets clogged with gunk and grace doesn't flow. Well, this has been an internal cleaning weekend. Leave the gunk here. Leave the falseness here. Leave all of that separation, the jealousies, the competition, the false identification. Leave it here. Go back free, so that each of us can be the vessels and the vehicles for that flow of grace and light here on earth. I few questions that are left, and I want to make sure that we get to them. And then Pujya Swamiji will guide us through the sacred mantras to take home with us and give us his concluding, not parting, but concluding blessings for the light of Guru Purnima. Let's finish off the questions and then move into the mantras.
So before I start with the couple of questions I have, I remember there was a gentleman last night who had a question that we didn't get to. So if that person is still here and still has that question, you could take that first.
Yeah, I think I did discuss with Swamiji yesterday that there are so many people are really waiting for, I'm not talking about the donation, but helping our country, because they are all out of our country, and how they want to do it and what they want to do it will depend upon what are the unbenefited people, unfortunate people, and there how can we as our nation, how can we help India different ways, and everybody's looking for some kind of a safety and more that it is used right way rather than somebody is doing something like that. So I talked to Sadhviji quite a bit yesterday, and we talked that there are so many people all around the world, not only in the United States or something like that. That would be really, if we have somewhere where everybody trusts that, and I didn't mean to use that word, but that is really, people are looking for that.
Yes, so we spoke about that already in our private meeting, but it's worth just commenting for half a moment on this, because we are not here on planet Earth just to do the best we can for ourselves, or the best that we can for our 1 or 2 or 3 kids, or our 2 or 3 or 6 grandkids, or whatever counts to us as our family. That's not the goal of what we've been given a human birth for. We've been given the human birth for awakening, for enlightenment. Pujya Swamiji was speaking about the 3 most precious things, that human birth, that quest for Gyan, for wisdom, and the association, the presence of the holy ones. Those 3 things together are not just there so that we can figure out how to live the most comfortable life that we personally can for ourselves. They're given to us to give us the best chance of opening and awakening to the truth of who we really are. And when we have that, then service flows from us naturally. It's not about a sticky note on our computer that says, remember to do 1 random act of kindness today. It's not about a note on our mirror or window that says, remember, be kind. It becomes our nature. Giving and serving flows through us because we are connected. The example that I always give about this is, if we trip and we fall and we injure our left leg, let's say, well, our right leg is going to pick up the extra weight. That's what we refer to as limping. But nobody ever says to the left leg or to the right leg, oh, great right leg, humanitarian right leg, wonderful right leg, would you mind? Would you mind picking up some extra weight? We need your save right here. And the right leg isn't expecting some kind of a humanitarian gold star or award or appreciation. It understands the left leg is self. And if I trip and I injure my left leg every week, if I'm really clumsy, or I've got a table in really the wrong place in my living room and I just keep tripping over it, the right leg is never going to say, forget it enough, like I did that last week. Figure it out yourself this week. And if after hurting my leg I end up with, a cold or a flu or bang my elbow, throw my back out, the body's not going to say, you know what, we did the leg, we did the fever, no elbows. Enough. Too much, in fact. It's just going to keep responding to whatever is needed because it is all self. And that is really the core of how service flows. And so what he was talking about is this beautiful urge of so many people to come and to serve. And especially those who their logistic responsibilities are much less these days. The kids are grown, they're on their own, retired from the jobs. Now we've got so much what to do with that, how to give back. And this is true for everyone. It's true for everyone here, it's true for everyone watching this online. Whatever your ability is, your skill is, your talent is, whatever you have. We talk about tan man dan. Some people are going to be those who are actually there laying the bricks in building a house. They're the ones out there in the hot sun getting actually one brick on top of another brick so that there are houses for the poor. And then there are those who are actually doing the planning. How deep does the foundation need to be so the house doesn't collapse in a windstorm? How many houses can we build on this plot of land? How can we get another plot of land? What's the right material to build with? Where's the money going to come from? That's the money. And then of course there are those who are donating the money for it. Somebody's got to buy the bricks. Somebody's got to buy the mortar between it. So whatever we're building, we need people giving tan man dan. It's not that everybody's in a situation to give the same thing. But whatever position you are in, whatever skill you have, resources you have, how can they be used for the world? Not because you need the good karma, not because it's the right thing to do and you've got a sticky note that reminds you of that on your mirror, but because you are so connected to the divine, to the creator, and therefore to the creation, that those people who are living without a home, or without food, or without water, or without education, whatever example we're talking about, they are you. They are one with you. They are your family. So yes, thank you for reminding us of that.
So this question comes from someone who's done a lot of work with people who are in a lot of pain, particularly African Americans in this country and impoverished people elsewhere. And his question is, how do we break the generational trauma among the marginalized communities in the United States and elsewhere who have a history of persecution? And he mentioned that there's now a science of epigenetics that is actually showing that trauma is passed generationally through our genes. So that's his question.
So it's a big question. It takes us into a lot of areas that we don't have time to go into all of the details of here. But yes, trauma does get passed down. We now know this. But what's most important is, how can I, rather than identifying as the trauma, because the dilemma when we start talking about anything that's genetic, whether it's normal genetics, whether it's epigenetics, in this case, we're still talking about the passing on of that trauma. What makes epigenetics special from regular genetics is it talks about the role of the environment, the importance of the environment, that we're not just our genes. We are the positions in which we put ourselves. We are the people with whom we surround ourselves. We are the thoughts that we have that are flooding our bloodstream with different hormones and different chemicals. We are the food that we eat that is flooding our bloodstreams with different chemicals and different molecules. When you speak about, though, that aspect of the DNA of trauma, it's very tempting in that discussion, particularly if you are someone who is having that, to make sort of that my excuse. So I've got this genetic predisposition to trauma because I'm African American or I'm Jewish or whatever it is. My people have been traumatized. And there is a lot of evidence of this. We know that people whose cultures have been persecuted, whose cultures have been traumatized, even those who have not been, carry that. We see this in India as well. Not quite on the same level of having been traumatized and persecuted the way that others in different countries have been, but simply the concept of having been colonized. There's a lot of the colonial way of living amongst Indians today who never actually were alive under British rule. Similar type of concept. It's being passed through in a very interesting way in our genetics. But a lot of other things are also being passed down in our genetics. We've got a lot of genes, a lot of chromosomes, a lot of different aspects that make us who we are. And the choice is up to us of what aspect is it I'm going to identify as. What aspect of it is that I'm going to move through my world as. Because in addition to that, we also, of course, have all of our life histories, what we've experienced. We have our past life histories. So if you put all of the stuff into a pot, I've got everything from my past lives, the traumas that I was a victim of, the traumas that I may have inflicted upon others, where I was a victim, where I was a persecutor. I've got all the stuff that's happened to me in this life, the pain I've experienced, the pain I've inflicted. Then I've got all the genetic stuff, personality things, medical things, health things, cognitive things. Then we've got the whole epigenetics. We end up with this huge bowl of soup. And in every moment, we are impacted by all of that. Oh, and the stars, right, of course. We've got the whole science of Jyotish, where my planets are, where the stars are. That's another huge part of my soup. In every moment, we are being impacted by all of this. And it's up to us to decide, with all of that impact on me, my past lives, this life, my genetics, my ancestors' genetics, the moon, the stars, the planets, what I had for breakfast. What part of it am I going to grab hold of and move forward? And that is what I have a choice about. I do not have a choice about my past lives or earlier this life or my moon or my stars, my ancestors. I have a choice about right here, right now, how I am going to move forward. And am I going to move forward as a victim? As a persecuted one, whether because I actually experienced that in this life, or because my people experienced it before I was born? Or am I going to move forward as one bringing healing? And that is a choice we have. And that doesn't mean to undermine aspects of where we've been injured. It means to remember we have the choice. We have the choice of what aspect of that do we move forward with. And so dealing with populations who have been persecuted, the best way to work with them is to help them understand they have a choice. They cannot rewind history. They cannot make the African American people not have been slaves. But what they can do today is ensure that that never happens again, either to them or to anyone else. And to live within themselves. And yeah, in society there's all kinds of rules that we wish weren't there, whether it's about women, whether it's about people of different sexual orientation, whether it's about people of different races, different colors, different socioeconomic statuses. There's all kinds of societal things that are not ideal. And all of us together need to work to change that. And if you're coming at it from a perspective of a felt sense memory, a genetic memory of persecution, wonderful, actually, because you've got even more of that felt sense inside of how wrong it is, and even more of a catalyst to work to change it. The only problem comes when we identify as the victim. We're all victims of something. If we went around, we could all figure out something that we're all victims of. But that doesn't serve us. What serves us is to figure out the difference we can make and to step into that freedom. I've mentioned several times this weekend how the highest ultimate goal of the spiritual path is freedom. How can I be free of my mind, of my own false identities, of my patterns that aren't serving me, as well as this identification? And again, not to undermine it in any way, it's crucial. It's crucial that we remember lest it ever happen again. It is crucial that as a people we work together to remedy it, but not to lose this life in that.
So I have a question for you, Pujya Swamiji, but before we go there, do you want to see if there are any more questions in the audience?
So, in the awareness of the logistics and the time, rather than taking more questions here now, we'll shift to the question you have for Pujya Swamiji. Request him to answer that, and then to go into the mantras and the concluding blessings. And remember that we're all connected. And so whether the question arises in your mind as you sit here this morning, or arises in your mind as you drive away from here, or as you wake up tomorrow morning or next week, we're here. Just email, send a message, and we'll get the questions answered for you. And these days, by the grace of technology, and it's caused a lot of problems in our life, but it's also made some things much more easy. So by the grace of technology, we can actually even get you answers to your questions. But remember how many answers you've gotten. Remember how that answer is within you. And so always see whether you can first dive in. It's It's very easy to jump into our heads. Oh, I have a question. Oh, I have a question. In our heads. Before that, see what happens if you drop deep within the self. See if the answer's already there. In a lot of cases, that answer actually is already within you. And in the cases where you can't find it, don't worry, we're here.
So the question for you is, could you please explain to us your experiences in the jungles at such a young age, and what did you eat while you were there?
Let us start with the mantras, and then when I start speaking, I'll cover this question also. Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu Mangalam Garudatvaja Mangalam Pundarikaksho Yatano Hari Om Sarvamangalamaangalye Shive Sarvat Sadhike Sharanye Tyambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorama Amritam Gamaya Om करमूले तु गोविंद करमूले तु गोविंद प्रभाते करदर्शनम् प्रभाते करदर्शनम् समुद्रवसने देवी स्तनमण्डले विष्णुपत्नी नमस्तुभ्यं विष्णुपत्नी नमस्तुभ्यं पादस्पर्शं क्षमस्व मे पादस्पर्शं क्षमस्व मे गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः अखण्डमण्डलाकारम् व्याप्तं येन चराचरम् तत्पदं दर्शितं लोके येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय तमसो मा मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु दुःख भाग भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः मङ्गलं भगवान् विष्णुः मङ्गलं गरुडध्वजः मङ्गलं पुण्डरीकाक्षो मङ्गलायतनो हरिः कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यत् यत् सकलं परस्मै करोमि नारायणायेति समर्पयामि नारायणायेति समर्पयामि ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ स्वस्ति नः इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तारक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगुं शान्तिः सर्वं शान्तिः ॐ द्यौः शान्तिः अन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः पृथिवीं शान्तिः Abhayam sattva samshuddhi. I speak slowly that at least people who don't have one page, they can ask for. Abhayam sattva samshuddhi. Jnana yoga vyavasthitihi. Swadhyayas tapa arjavam ahimsa satyam akrodha satyam akrodha all these words. Now how you will read in one go. Ahimsa, satyam akrodhas, yagaha, shantirapaishunam, dayabhuteshvaloluptvam, dayabhuteshvaloluptvam, mardavam hrirachapalam, teja kshama dhriti shaucham, teja kshama dhriti shaucham, atroho natimanita, bhavanti sampadam daivim, abhijatasya bharata, Devi sampad vimokshaya, nibandhaya surimata. All these beautiful divine mantras for the last 3 days we have chanted. When you go back every day with your family, you all can recite. That's why we have repeated in many different tunes also. Whatever the tune you want, you can take it. The only purpose was to have the proper pronunciation. Someone had recorded, our people have recorded. It's on the line, I think now. It's all live. People are listening all over the world. And to all of them, we are missing you here. I wish you all were here. People, so many have called me also, sent the messages. It was so wonderful in the morning also. People have messaged. It was wonderful. We wish we were here. But you all have heard so much. There are so many nuggets, jewels, and diamonds you have collected in these 3 days. But the only use is when you use it, when you practice it in your daily life. Sometimes it is difficult. Saying these good things, these sanskaras, these values are very simple. They are simple. We are very complicated sometimes. They are very simple. But how to remove that complication? That's why we need the simple sutras and the simple mantras. Our divine sister also, when she was emceeing, she summed up whole 3 days very beautifully. Then Sadhviji said when she started that you are the key. You are the key and you have the keys. Sometimes it's difficult to become the key. But at least it's easier to have the keys. We want to have something. And you have it. And these keys are very amazing. The key opens the lock and locks the lock. Both things. You can open it also, you can lock it also. Now we have automatic locks, not only on the door, but in our life also. We have auto-locked ourselves. But these divine moments are to become free. How to open every lock of our life? This is your choice. As she said, we have the keys and we have the choices. This is our choice. We still want to stay stuck, or we want to make a decision. Decision is yours and choice is yours. Lake is very close by and very deep. Our problems are very small. Lake is very deep. Whatever is not comfortable, and when you don't comfortable with few things, you can't sleep even sometime in the night. You have sleepless nights. It bothers, it kills, it finishes you. For how long we can keep carrying this? Can we draw the line today before we leave? Take all of that junk. We have discussed so much in these 3 days. Until you make the decision that what I want to become, whether I want to become better or bitter, this is my choice. Whether I want to be in peace or in pieces, this is my choice. No one can stop you here. God has given you so much power. God has given you so much strength. Why so much power? Because He is powerful. Someone was telling me, I have seen these people around me are very powerful. Okay, no problem, you become powerful. They are powerful, you become powerful. Become loving, become kind. And use this mantra, being kind, being loving, because this is itself is a magnet. Kindness is a magnet. Living with the truth is magnet. Being compassionate is magnet. You don't have to explain to yourself, look, I am right. You people are wrong. You don't have to explain it to anybody. And nobody is ready to listen anyway. You have to explain to yourself. Where do I stand? Ask yourself. Before you leave, you will be very much in a hurry because everybody is now packing up and ready to go. But when you are ready to go, let us be ready to live. And where you want to live. How you want to live. These 3 days are very powerful. And you can make yourself powerful. As we discussed from the day 1 with these beautiful divine mantras, that you are divine. And when you are divine and you are part of the divine, you are nothing less than the divine. That much power. And in the Vedas, it says, I am me hasto Bhagavan. I am me Bhagavattara. What a powerful mantra. I am me hasto Bhagavan. In Sanskrit, in the Veda, it says, I am me hasto Bhagavan. This very hand is given by the divine. Is manifestation of the divine. I am me Bhagavan. This my very hand is Bhagavan, not less than Bhagavan. You can create through this hand whatever you want. This is your creation. And I am a Bhagavat Taraha. Only this hand even greater than the divine. What a great power. Wants to give you so much assurance. You have this power and you are the power. Feel the power and feel the power around you. If you are negative, believe me, you cannot generate anything better. You cannot create positivity around you. Don't become negative. It will negate you. You are negating yourself. People will negate you. No one going to accept you. Become positive. Be powerful rather than powerful. Number 2, your actions. Feeling one thing, then turning into action. Because your actions are your destiny. There is a beautiful, very simple in the villages, na kar, na dar. Don't do anything which can create fear in you. My karmas create fear in me. What kind of karma I perform? They create fear or make me fearless. Second, the sutras we have discussed in these days, whatever you do as a tool, as an instrument. And third, we have discussed whatever we do, we offer to thee, we offer to the divine. With the kayen vacha manasendriyarva. Remember, I am reminding you to take these things back. कि जब भी बैठे, ध्यान में बैठे, अकेले बैठे, परिवार में बैठे, whenever you are together, remember, karma. What kind of karma I want to do? Can I offer this karma back to God? If I cannot, I should not. What kind of food I eat? Can I offer to the divine this food? No, don't eat. What kind of thought I am having in my mind? If God is just in front of me, I will be embarrassed, I will be proud. If those kind of thoughts comes in me, immediately give it to the lake. Fourth, sometimes we think that somebody else gives me the pain. Somebody else is the reason of my misery. No one else is the cause of your misery. We are the cause of our own misery. Sukhasya dukkhasya na kopi data paro dadati iti kubuddhiresha. Sukhasya dukkhasya, whether it's a sukh or dukh, it's a pain or pleasure. Who is the giver of those? The scripture says no one else. Sukhasya dukkhasya na kopi data. There is no one else can give you. They can call you middle of the night. But if you don't receive that call, what will happen? Even they say so many bad things. What we do, immediately we accept it and we lose our sleep. They react in our heart, in our mind. We have to learn in such a way, if somebody sends something, if what is called here, when they send courier mail? Huh? FedEx. When they send you FedEx, if you don't want to take it, what will happen? It will go back to the sender. Nowadays, even faster than FedEx. So many things are being sent to us. Thought is most faster than anything else. But immediately we become part of it. We start working on it. We make busy ourselves. कैसे कह दिया, क्यों कह दिया, हिम्मत कैसे हुई, who she is, who he is, बस प्रॉब्लम शुरू. इसे सुखस्य दुःखस्य न कोपि दाता परो ददाति इति कुबुद्धिरेषा. Somebody else is giving me, this is kubuddhi, this is not buddhi, this is not wisdom, which takes you away from the wisdom. This is this negative thought. So what to do? Well, Swakarma Sutra Gradhito hi loka. Everyone is wrapped up in the sutra with the thread of their own karmas. When we perform those karmas, when we say something, write something, do something, we forget that there is a repercussion. There is a ripple effect of that. We forget it. And the time comes when the fruit comes. It takes time. There is a Kriyamana, Samchit and Prarabdha. 3 types of karmas are there. But I will not explain today now here. But those things are waiting to give you the fruit. The Swakarma Sutre Gradhito hi loka, not only one, not only two, all of the whole world is wrapped up. And aham karomi iti vridhabhimana. And this last line is very important. Aham karomi iti vridhabhimana. That I do it. Because of me this happens. This is a false ego. It's all happening because of me. And because we get wrapped up and we then tie ourselves and we create the bondage for ourselves of misery, of pain, for anxiety, for sleeplessness, and so many things. The first, whenever we do the karma, we should become very careful, do as a tool, as an instrument. Third, offer to the divine whatever has been happened through you, that you are just an instrument. And fourth is somebody else is the cause of your misery. No, or my own karma, which starts with my thought. My thought turns to action. And my action, if I keep doing, keep repeating, keep saying 20 times a day, even you keep deleting, doesn't matter. You cannot. Whatever is dotted, it cannot be blotted. I read in my young age. जो भी लिखा गया वो मिटा नहीं सकते उसको. You can delete nowadays because you have facilities. But before you delete, why you write? Just think. Something is there which you delete. Why you have deleted? Oh my God. If this is being read, I will be in trouble. But if it's being read, I will be in trouble. Before we do it, thought comes. Then action comes. Then hand comes. Then we type. We send. So much is there. Between the thought and the action, there is so much gap. Yesterday we were talking about grab that space. Meditate. Why I do it? Again, I become silly. How many times I will keep doing it? And you don't torture somebody else. You create the pain for yourself. So all of that what we do, the whole drama, God says, offer to me. And introspect. Why again? Why me? Why get stuck? Because meditation is not only closing your eyes. Meditation was to open your eyes, open your heart, expand. And we think we close our eyes, 2 hours meditation, done. So meditation is to open yourself, expand yourself. being more kind. Yogastaha kur karmani. Yogastaha, establishing yoga. Whatever you do your karma with conscious living. And all of that, there is so much, so many things are coming to my heart, but I will have to answer the last part also, and we have to close also today. It's already 10:40. We were thinking to close 10:30, so 3-4 more minutes, and then we'll close the session. So it's very important, whatever we have taken from here, this should not stay here. We should take with us. We should try to live with baby steps. Take steps. Don't worry. Don't be fearful. Have a faith. And things are waiting to change. Take that step. God bless you. Last. How I was living in the jungle. And what did I eat? Few days. Jungle life is amazing stories, so many stories. Some of the stories are in that book also. By God's grace. You can read there. But the whole experience is sometimes living in the jungle. Nowadays people want to live in the jungle. They want to live this kind of life. Otherwise jungles were not the places that people think I want to go to the jungle. People want to be in the cities with hustle and bustle, with family life, busy life. Going in the jungle was living a life of solitude, living a life of silence, living a life of fullness. I said silence is not absence of words, absence of speech. Silence is full, complete, whole, which makes you complete. That life when I was living, even today, when I'm out of the jungle, that life is on. It's not that you live that life there, then you come out of the jungle, come to the worldly world, and you are different. It is not the place, it's you who gets changed. It's not the peace of that place only stays there. Peace stays with you. You are peace. It's our choice that we become in pieces because of our own desires, our own petty complaints and problems. So that peace is still there. The peace is on, but what I was eating. In the beginning, I was given lentils, moongi dal, and a few bags of rice. Later on, that was only not for longer period. Then we were asked whatever the fruits has given by the divine, eat. Third was later on, in the later part, Bhiksha, the alms. You go to the nearby village, you are in silence, you can't ask anybody, you have to walk for so far because you're in the jungle, and whatever is in the divine will, you can receive. You have to go to only 3 houses. Ask for Narayan Hari. You have to say this one word. People understand in India. When you say Narayan Hari, it means they will come and give you alms, Bhiksha. 3 times, 3 houses, you have to go. If they give you, great. If they don't give you, it means there's no divine will to eat something. That was the rule was given. And the next day, you have to wait for 24 hours, 1 time a day. The next day, sometime it happened, 3 days are gone, 7 days are gone, no food is available, but there was no complaint. This was a training. How you can live with less and how you can live without complaints. Then complaining to God, I am dying for you, where are you? He will say, I don't have to tell you to die for me. You live your life. Who is telling you? But main thing was not that complaining or asking something to the divine. Main thing was that how you can live a life where is a control of so many things, but still you can stay happy. Things are gone. Things are not there. Sometimes abusive people are abusive also. Go and earn. God has given you 2 hands. Why you are asking for arms? भगवान ने शरीर दिया, हाथ दिए, अच्छे भले हो, कमाओ. Earn and feed others also. Why you are becoming beggar? People will call you beggar also. But not to say anything to anybody, not complaining, not even sharing to somebody. I don't know how people are mean, why they are calling me beggar, why these people don't understand. I have left everything. Then you start thinking about your future. I have left everything. That means you have not left anything. You have left yourself. If all these things come to your mind, that means it's not sadhana. The sadhana was in all that scenario. You stay calm, you stay connected, and you see the divine will in all of that. That was the plan. And through the training, the master said, if you go through it in your entire life, then whatever you have, wherever you go, whatever people say, then it doesn't affect you. The sadhana is, these outer things should not affect you. Things come, things happen, and you say, okay, Prabhu, no problem. And sometimes people write mean things, okay, take it and give it to Goddess. Give it to God. Okay, God, take care of it. Not to worry about it. If you start taking care of it, then you will forget the sadhana. Then you start, okay, I'll see you. No. You are not see people. You are see only one thing. Behind every incident, the divine is working to prepare you, to repair you, to take care of you. So that was the sadhana. There are many other stories how the animals world and other world also. You have interaction, you have attacked, attracted, so many things were there. But right now, time is very short, but last not the least. These 3 days, I came all the way from Rishikesh, but made me very happy that there are souls who are searching for something. Even being in this world, not easy. You people are so busy, so busy. God bless you. Let this search be on. And as I said, 3 things are very important. Sadhviji also reminded, let these 3 things stay alive in you. God bless you. And last, what you said about this, there should be some place where people can have trust. Nowadays, NGOs and many other things are doing so many scams, so many things are happening. Not everyone, there are very good, very great NGOs who are doing great things. So whenever you feel that you want to do something, you want to have a one place, one connection, you can ask Atulji, you can ask Navalji, you can ask Janine, and there are many others around. You can ask them. There is a way. Things can be done. Things can be done in a very transparent way, very honest way, and that every penny is used wisely and perfectly. So God bless you. God bless you all. Before you go, whatever is there, please, which is troubling you, bothering you, then I will think, coming here, I didn't come to see you all the way. I came here to see that in you, which I want to see. That before I came and before I leave, yes, there is a change. There is a change. And this will make me also happy. But I will keep praying for you on the banks of Ganga. Whenever you have time, welcome home. And before you leave, take all of that trash and junk, give it to the lake. Give it to the lake. And love all, serve all, respect all. God bless you. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let's give a big round of applause for all of these people who have done so much. There are so many details. What kind of food? Because it's not easy. Because when you are in a different location, you have to explain them that how vegetarian food, what people will like, what so many details are there. But all of you have given your seva, and all of you who have come also is also seva. If you were not there, there was no camp. So all of you who have come to make camp as a great camp, for all of you also, let's give a big round of applause for each of you.
Just a very quick clarification. I don't think it's needed, but just in case. When Pujya Swamiji says, take all that trash and put it in the lake before you not the stuff from your room. It's the stuff from your heart. And I don't think necessarily for this group here that clarification is required, but just lest someone one day see a video online in which Pujya Swamiji is talking about, and before you leave, take that trash and put it in the lake. Just want to make sure that everyone is 100% clear on exactly what trash we are referring to.
On behalf of everybody, Pujya Swamiji and Sadhviji, thank you. You don't have enough words to how we can thank you for coming all the way from India just for this, just for us. Make us feel good, but at the same time, it's the trouble, the pain, the long journey you've gone through, and we got a lot of blessings from you. So thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, also.